So this video should serve as an example for how we integrate with Salesforce. If you want more information, contact someone for a demo. But I just wanted to review real quickly the actual data model for Salesforce Nonprofit Success Pack. The data model, as you probably know if you're watching this, is there are accounts that have household types or organization types. Those have contacts. They also have addresses. Within these, partial soft credits or an opportunity contact role creates a partial soft credit. There's also account soft credits. All of those relate to opportunities, and opportunities have payments. Those opportunities have types. Those opportunities usually have a GAU allocation in GAU, which is typically the designation that the gift was given to. And those relate as well to campaigns. And campaign members is what relates campaigns and contacts. Recurring donations can't have opportunities. Those recurring donations represent the recurring plan that someone, the account or contact, has committed to giving on a recurring basis. And then there are a couple of other objects as well, but those are less relevant to how WeGive integrates with NPSP. With WeGive, we provide a integration to the default Salesforce NPSP objects, and that's how we suggest you set it up. That is not how you have to set it up, but that is how we suggest you set it up. We also have a handful of custom objects that you may or may not use, up to you, in Salesforce. We provide those with a managed package, and those give you the ability to either actually interact with an object as a team that has data stored in it, or to use those as kind of a middleware between an object that you might actually be using in Salesforce and WeGive as an end system. So for example, households sync to households, organizations to companies, contacts to individuals, that's our donor model. Opportunities, opportunity contact roles, partial soft credits and account soft credits to soft credits. We have recurring plans synced to recurring donations, payments syncing to opportunities and payments. And there's some nuance there we can discuss, like the stage or the status. Designations to general accounting units, allocations to allocations, campaigns to campaigns, campaign members to campaign members. And then we have a handful of custom objects as well for things that you do not have by default in Salesforce NPSP. Some of those are communication lists and communication list consents. The ability to view journeys and donor journeys, so a series of messages and where the people are within those series of messages or workflows, the history of them, sent messages across all channels of email, SMS, print mail, and portal messaging. Forms, form submissions, and custom question answers, and those also come with, similar to those, but different, are campaign events. So events and event registrations and event tickets. We also have fundraisers and P2P fundraisers. Pledges and payouts are financial objects as well. So most organizations either don't track their pledges or they just treat them as donations, or they make them opportunities with a status of pledged and add payments to them and mark them off. So we've just created a pledge object for you that we think works really well. And the payout object, which consolidates payments, the payout object helps finance teams reconcile donations and non-donation revenue by date initiated. All of the integrations are real time, can sync every minute or up to every 15 minutes, and sync bidirectionally by default. And so that's the way that the objects sync on top of the Salesforce data model. And so that data comes into WeGive. We sync all your campaigns and campaign members, all your historical events and event registrations. We sync all of your payments. Those are donations and service revenues, recurring plans and pledge plans. We generally don't sync anything from Marketing Cloud or Pardot. You can run imports for engagement history. A lot of times organizations are bringing over their communication lists, like a daily prayer request or a monthly update newsletter. The consent history in those. Within supporters, usually we're bringing over all the contacts, including the households and the companies they're associated with. We're usually also bringing over some marketing contacts from other systems that aren't in Salesforce. And so when we want those marketing contacts to convert into Salesforce, they will, if they make a donation or do whatever action you decide converts them into a supporter. We use all that data to power a portal and then checkout elements, event elements, fundraiser elements. And then, of course, incredible marketing automation and deep segmentation and all sorts of really cool stuff that we can cover later. As of right now, organizations set up any number of integrations you want. You can track all sorts of data and add custom fields, create automated segments, etc. You can import data and export data. But for the integration, you set the integration up here, and then you have integration logs that show you history of that integration with WeGive, and then integration locks. So any actual records that are failing to integrate because of a data validation error in Salesforce or some other reason, giving you the administrative ability to push those through amongst some other options. Within the integration, you will see all of the standard mapping rules here for MPSP, along with some of the custom objects that we have provided via a managed package. Within these, you can add any number of custom rules and custom fields. Within these objects, you will see that we have a bi-directional or one-way import or export only rules that you can set up on any number of fields. And these are custom fields or default fields. And if you want to change where this is pointing, you're fully free to do that. By default, we're going to sync with a ton of fields on all of the standard objects, and you can go and view those in our docs, wegive.com/docs. Select Salesforce, and we have a full guide for all of the fields we map on by default. In general, most clients have it set up with just the standard objects linking in, and then some also will sync those standard objects to non-standard objects, as well as these custom objects. I think the custom objects that people seem to use the most are communication lists and list consents, events and event registrations, pledges as well. And so these are some of the custom objects here, and we give you all sorts of functionality. And so basically, this integration is really, really flexible, and it's really, really powerful. It syncs in real time. We can click off a sync right now. We can also view logs. We can view this specific communication list log here. We can see that this was created and it processed correctly. We can view the payload, copy the contents. We can fully debug this right here. We can also go and view that actual record, and we can go view that model. We can filter this down by a different model, by a different status, by the initiated date. So we basically have full functionality and ability to view what's happening with the two systems. And then we also give you the ability to view any of the locks. So anything that's locking up and is not able to sync fully on that record because of, for example, a validation rule that's preventing billing state code to come across. And so maybe that's a system functional problem with how we set that up. We can take a look at that. We can fix it, or we can select this and we can push it through. Then we can go and view that record, select any number of records we want, and really easily click off a resync for just that record or a handful of records, easily view how those logs come through after we remove those integration locks. And so the way we've set this up is so your IT team can map this once, and the data should be at parity in both systems all the time. If it gets out of alignment, we've given you a ton of tools to able to remove those misalignments, get the system back to complete equality and parity. And then because of that integration, your marketing teams and your fundraising teams and your donor services teams have all of the workflows they need to accept revenue, communicate to supporters, and then help those donors with the problems that arise without sacrificing your data model, without having to go to different systems, without creating disparate data silos. If you have any questions on any of this, feel free to visit wegive.com/docs to review how we actually integrate on the field level, the nuances between these different objects. And if you want to have a demo or talk to someone technical about how we integrate with Salesforce or how we suggest we integrate, or other options like nonprofit cloud or a different type of CRM, if you should move over, we'd be happy to talk to you. So feel free to reach out to us as well at wegive.com/demo request. And yeah, see you next time.